My name is Liz Buckle. I'm aged 50. My thalidomide condition is, as you can see, short arms. I've also got incomplete shoulders, so that makes what I do have in my arms quite weak. I live on an island called Lismore on the west coast of Scotland. I haven't always lived there. I've moved around a lot, and especially for my working life. When I was younger, I don't think I regarded it as a challenge. In fact, I probably didn't really think of myself as being a disabled person, though of course I was. I just did everything. I had a flow to life, a rhythm. Everything was easy. I would have been up those hills like a shot on a regular basis. I just didn't think about, the effect on my body of the things I did when I was young. I lived an unadapted, unamended life, really, a very free and natural life, which was fantastic. But I didn't realise the extra pressure and burden that was giving my body. Nowadays, I am very stiff and achy. I get a lot of pain in my back, neck and shoulders, and stiffness. So I'm quite slow to get going in the morning. I have to ease my back out and get everything moving again because I'm very, very stiff. And the same at the end of the day, I literally slow down and I can barely move around sort of in late evening. I go to bed very early, but by that point I'm absolutely shattered. And this hand, which is my main using hand, is virtually stopped working by the end of the day. My house, I've had it measured up and a special bespoke kitchen designed for it. The same with the bathroom. This is my kitchen as it is at the moment and how it's been for the last 20 years actually. It's very simple. Everything here involves a lot of bending. This is a standard height countertop. These cupboards I can't really use. I can only open them and perhaps get a few things out from the front of the cupboards with my feet. So therefore you'll see a lot of things stored on the floor. This is the fridge. Again, I can only get into the sort of first stage of the shelves. My adapted kitchen, which I haven't got yet, has been designed specially for me in every way. For example, the countertop is higher than normal, and it's got a lot of drawers in it, big drawers, including a refrigerated drawer. It's got an electric rise and fall table, so that I can sit and do my preparation work at the table. Say I'm making some food, I put it into the pan, and then I press an electric button and zoop, up it goes to the level of the cooker. It's going to have a boiling tap instead of a kettle. The hot and cold tap handles are going to be right at the front of the counter, so I can just go up to them and turn them very easily. The kitchen that's been designed for me is just a very simple L-shaped design with all these features in it. But even though it's so small, it's going to cost around about £45,000 or roughly, plus some VAT, which I probably haven't calculated yet. It's a phenomenal cost for a tiny, tiny little kitchen. This is my bathroom as it is now. It's very small. It's got an old bath in it. My problems are with the bath. Turning the taps on is a really nasty bend. I've got an ordinary toilet. I keep breaking the toilet seat because I put a lot of pressure on it. I need a Closomat bottom washing toilet. My bathroom adaptations are probably going to cost between £8,000 and £10,000. I don't have a price yet because it's out to tender at the moment. I now have an adapted car with foot steering and extensions on the gear and other things. That's great. And that means I'm back driving again, because the last few years I've actually virtually stopped driving because it was so painful and so ridiculous. A new car like that would be something like £12,000 on top of the cost of the car.
And then think about leaving this neck quiet. your feet quite wide apart and letting your knees bend.
I have been seeing Claire Rennie, my Alexander Technique teacher, for about 3 years. She has taught me how to use my body in a more posturally and quieter kind of way, so that I don't keep putting it under postural stress when I'm doing things.
That's great. How did that feel?
Much better.
At this stage, even though many years of damage has been done, and some of the damage we might not be able to recover as such, but if we stop doing things in a damaging way, but start to learn how we can do things in a way that's less harmful, we're stopping building up more damage. The
cost of an Alexander Technique lesson is usually something from £40 to anything up to £75 for a 45-minute lesson session. And it's recommended that you go through a series of lessons so that your learning increases as you go along. I do get some help. It's paid help, paid for by myself. I now pay for a cleaner who comes from the mainland once a week to help me clean my house. I should actually, in an ideal world, have a cleaner every day. That's what I need, but I haven't got yet. I pay for maintenance of the house, for gardening work, for heavy work like mending the walls of the garden. But all these things I would have done myself when I was younger and fitter, and did do myself. But nowadays I have to pay people to come and clean the windows, to do minor maintenance work, even put up some hooks on a wall. What's planned for this garden is, like the house, is getting it properly adapted for me. So this whole area here, which is really for vegetable growing, somebody is going to build me some really quite high up raised beds. If I lost my house grant, I would feel pretty devastated, I think. I would feel much more concerned for the future. I wouldn't be able to plan. I wouldn't be able to make choices. I would have to continue making do with things that were less than ideal, that were damaging my body. I think the psychological harm should not be underestimated. For me, my health grant has allowed me to, for the first time, to really consider doing proper adaptations to my house. It's also allowed me to comfortably buy the little daily additions that I need to get as well. It's not covering all of those costs by any means, but at least I'm moving in the right direction. And I can feel the difference in my body and also the comfort of my mind, knowing that I'm doing the right thing at last, after decades of doing the wrong thing and the damage that that's caused.